Hello, Home Slices. It's Kiera with Home Slice Adulting coming to you with another installment of Driving Home. I know what you're thinking. Kiera, it's not Friday. Driving home is a Friday thing. And even though it is Thursday, I will not be at work tomorrow. So I figured I would just do it a little early, a day early. What could it hurt? So I think today I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip and talk about what is on my mind. Today something happened at work, and for a while I have been struggling with this idea of being a self-advocate and, admittedly getting better at it. And something happened today, and I feel like, you ever have those moments where something happens or somebody says something to you, and in that moment you don't have any response, and then you have time to think about it, and you think of like this really witty or funny or sassy, or petty things that you could have said to them in response that would have been perfect for that situation, and you're like mad at yourself for not saying anything. Something like that happened to me today, and I didn't realize it until I had a conversation with a group of people that I care about regarding what had happened. And when I saw their reactions to what had happened, it was validating for me. Because sometimes you kind of trick yourself into thinking that things are okay when they aren't. And sometimes you have to say it out loud or tell it to somebody for somebody to say, people who really care about you and who will tell you the truth, they'll say, oh, you're tripping. Like, if it's really not a big deal. But if they say, oh no, like that definitely shouldn't have happened, then you feel more comfortable being like, okay, maybe I was supposed to say something. Maybe I still can say something. And so that happened to me today. And it happened just maybe not even an hour ago. And I'm kind of like reeling from that. Like, for me, having PCOS, I have these moments where like the pendulum kind of swings for me, where because PCOS is mostly hormonal, it plays upon your emotions. And so during the times where you are experiencing the difficult times, with PCOS, your emotions are like on 10. And, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. It's whenever I'm dealing with, in the throes of PCOS, I am very emotional. I cry over things that I probably wouldn't cry over. I get upset about things that I probably wouldn't get upset about. And for whatever reason, I also feel emboldened. And I don't necessarily know if that's true, but in the moments where I was in the throes of feeling my emotions to the highest level, that was when I was able to stand up for myself and be able to say, I can't take this. I need something to change. And this is going to be super corny, but for those of you who have seen Captain Marvel, there were a lot of feminist themes in the movie. And one of them was that, they were trying to mold her into not using her emotions. And that was their way of controlling her. And if you think about, particularly in business, women are discounted and discouraged from using their emotions. And the idea is, if you are too emotional, men will not respect you. They will think that you are leading with your emotions as opposed to being logical. And in Captain Marvel, when she was able to tap into her emotions and feel everything, that's when she was able to stop being controlled by I can't even think of the name of the people, by the artificial intelligence that's supposedly like the god of the place that she thought she was from. And once she began to feel those emotions, she was able to become her like full self as Captain Marvel. And for whatever reason, I feel like it's kind of similar with the PCOS. Having my emotions be amplified from where they would normally be a 2, now they're amplified to a 10. I'm able to say, I'm fed up with this and I need something to change. Because again, for years, I have been kind of trained to not say anything. Like, you suffer in silence. And then one day you blow up. You know, you suffer in silence, you build up that resentment, and one day there's a straw that breaks the camel's back, and you act in a way that you probably normally wouldn't act. You say things that you normally wouldn't say, and you might even, you know, offend people or treat people wrong when they don't deserve that, because it's not their fault that you have waited so long to express your feelings. And while I was, you know, the past few weeks I have felt okay because I'm not in the throes of PCOS right now. And I'm wondering if it's, you know how people say when you drink alcohol, you have liquid courage. Is PCOS my liquid courage? Not to be gross, that kind of sounds too gross. But for me, is it my tolerance for BS is much lower when I have PCOS? Is what it seems like. Or it's just that because I am forced to feel the full effect of my emotions, I can't trick myself into believing that it's just me. Or I can't trick myself into believing this is all in my head. I can't trick myself into believing that, you know, this is about me and this is my lot in life. I can't trick myself into believing that I can deal with this because it's too much. And in moments like right now where I'm not dealing with PCOS, when things are, you know, going okay with my body, where my hormones seem to be, you know, more in check, I have the ability to basically lie to myself and say, okay, what happened today is okay. What happened today is not a symptom of what I expressed when I was in the throes of PCOS. Because I have a problem with certain things at work, and I've expressed this to my supervisors, and they have kind of reassured me that they are going to make sure that things change. And something happened today where I was asked to do something that is not necessarily in line with the way things are supposed to be changing. And so for me, I'm trying to remember what point I was trying to make. For me, now that I am not dealing with PCOS and my hormones are more so in check, I can tell myself, you know, that this is okay. Whereas if I was in, you know, the high points of PCOS, then my emotional response would be, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. I need to have a conversation about this right now, or else there's going to be a bigger problem, because it would affect me more so emotionally. I'm just having like my own little cathartic moment right now, just realizing kind of what's going on with me. And maybe that I should have a different attitude about when I speak up about things, because, you know, I'm already on the being a better self-advocate tip, but I'm trying to think if being in the moment where my hormones are raging the most and I'm dealing with like the worst PCOS and I'm dealing with the physical pain that goes along with it, did that help me to stand up for myself? And it's like I'm you know, we're always on journeys of self-discovery, and I've always wanted to grow and be better and be the best person that I can be. And a part of that is being honest with yourself. And I'm trying to figure out if having PCOS is teaching me how to listen to myself. I am blowing my own mind right now. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just having this moment of realization, and it's like freaking me out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know that I have more to say about this particular issue, because I have not had an opportunity to go back to the person that I want to speak with and tell them how I feel about it, you know, especially since I didn't tell them in that moment. And, you know, there's someone who says that, you know, they are willing to advocate for me when it comes to this particular issue. And I was like, I have to sleep on it. I don't know if it's better coming from somebody else, or if it'll come off as if I didn't feel that I could talk to this person about the way I felt. So I'm just having like some internal dilemmas, some internal self-discovery going